Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Fahmi Azrul bin Karunizam and my matrix number is 1047. So today, me and my group members will present to you our business project graph, which is the awareness of COVID-19 SOP during tourism. Our questionnaire have a three section, which is the demographic, knowledge and also healthy practice. The demographic profile of the respondent was covered in the first part of this questionnaire. This part included the name of the respondent, their age and also state of origin. This data was obtained via an online survey using a Google form, and we used a quantitative research approach to cover the survey and the questionnaire. The survey participants were carefully chosen and 115 people actively participate. This study also identified a simple random sample survey questionnaire comprised of the awareness of COVID-19 SOP in the domestic tourism. So next, I will pass it to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next. I'm Karuzama Memoradi and my matrix number is 08 DPI 19F 1083. We'll continue this presentation. Okay, I will explain about knowledge section. Okay, recently our country shocked by the COVID-19 outbreak. As a result, in order to avoid pandemic and improve awareness of the hazard of COVID-19, every community must have some knowledge about the pandemic. As a result, we include 5 questions about the COVID-19 pandemic. So far, 115 members have successfully answered the knowledge question with agree, disagree, strongly agree, and strongly disagree responses. Okay, now we go to the Muhammad Fahmi Azrul back to explain about agree section. Thank you.
Next, I will continue the presentation. For an agree section, I know the COVID-19 virus can survive for a day on the metallic surface, and there is a majority of 42 participants with a percentage of 36.52%. While the list for agree is I know to wear a mask in the public place to avoid COVID-19 from being spread has 20 participants with 17.39%. Next, for an disagree section, I know the COVID-19 virus can survive for a day on the metallic surface. There is a majority of 6 participants with a percentage of 5.22%, while there is a 2 list for disagree, which is I know to wear a mask in the public place to avoid COVID-19 from being spread, and I know the main clinical symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, fatigue, dry cough, and body aches. Both of these have the same amount of the respondent, which is 1, and the percentage is 0.87%. So I will pass it to another presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next, we go on the section where we discuss the result of the strongly agree section. Okay, this section reveals that the third question, which is I know to wear a mask in public places to avoid COVID-19 from being spread, had the highest participation rate, with 85 people answering and 73.91% agreeing. The lowest percentage of those who strongly agree go to the question number 2. That I know the COVID-19 virus can survive for days in metallic surface, which has 45 people and 39.13% response rate. Okay, then we go on to the section where we discuss about the strongly disagree part. This section reveals that the second question, which is I know the COVID-19 virus can survive for days in metallic surface, had the lowest participation rate, with only 4 people answering yes, with 3.48%. Meanwhile, the highest percentage of those who strongly disagree go to the question number 1, 3, 4, and 5, which has 5 people answering and with 4.35% response rate. The first question is, I know that COVID-19 can be transmitted through cough and sneeze. Next, the third question is, I know to wear a mask in public places to avoid COVID-19 from being spread. Next, the fourth question is, I think social distancing can prevent you from being infected. And last question is, I know the main clinical symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, fatigue, dry cough, and body ache. These 4 questions have the same participation rate and have the same percentage. That's all for knowledge section. Now we go to health practice section. We have 5 questions regarding healthy practice. The first one is, I make sure to wear mask outside of my hotel, homestay or public transportation. The second one is, I make sure to check the health level of my family and I along with the risk status through my Sejahtera app. The third one is, I avoided unnecessary interaction with crowds in public places. The fourth one is, I avoided crowded public transits when I'm traveling. And the fifth one is, I make sure to sanitize myself whenever I touch something outside of my hotel or in public places. So, we have 115 response on this section, and I will go through the most agree and most disagree one. So, for mostly agree, with the response of 84, we have the most response on the question number 1, which is I make sure to wear mask outside of my hotel, homestay or public transportation. And also with the response of 64, we have the least strongly agree response about on question number 2, which is I always make sure to check the health level of my family and I along with the risk status through my Sejahtera apps. Now we go through the strongly disagree one. So strongly disagree one, question number 1, 3, 1, 3, 4 and 5 have the same number of response, which is 5. And also and that is the most response on strongly disagree question. Next we go to the least least response on strongly disagree option, which is the question number 2. I always check the health level of my family and I along with the risk status through my Sejahtera apps, with the number of 4 response only. That's all. So I will pass through to my partner. Thank you.
Hello madam, my name is Nala Hanis bin Juslefli. My matrix number is 1041 and I am going to continue my group presentation on the second graph, which is healthy practice. So I'm going to explain on agree and disagree score. As you can see here, the red circle is for the highest score and the yellow circle is for the lowest score. So the highest score of agree in this section, we can see it's from question number 2, where the question says that they need to check health level of their family members and themselves along with the risk status through the My Sejahtera app. So only 32 people respondent agree to this statement, and then we have the lowest agree score where only 19 people agree to the question that they need to wear mask outside hotel room or homestay or in the public transportation. So only 19 people agree to this statement in comparison with 32 people of 115 that agree to the question number 2. And go to the second score, which is disagree score. So in disagree score, the score is actually quite balanced with each other. So only 4 people disagree to the question number 3 and question number 4, where they need to avoid unnecessary interaction with the crowd in public spaces during traveling. And question number 4 says that they need to avoid crowded public transit during their stay in COVID-19 situation. So only 4 people disagree to that statement in comparison with the lowest disagree score, which only 2 people disagree to question number 1 and question number 5, where question number 5 states that they need to make sure they sanitize themselves after touching things outside of the hotel room and in the public public spaces. So only 2 people disagree to that statement. So in conclusion, here we have, after listening to the output interpretation from knowledge section and healthy practice section, so here we can say that all 115 respondents in Port Dickson have very high understanding towards these two variables. So in conclusion, here we can conclude that the awareness level of COVID-19 SOP in among tourists in Port Dickson are very high, and they are much aware of the COVID-19 themselves. Okay, I think that's all from my group members and I. Thank you.